Mega Man Issue 26 Worlds Collide. We start out with Sonic and Mega Man bickering and insulting each other's appearances, with Sonic calling his armor Mega Undies. I agree with Sonic here, and I don't see how Sonic has noodle limbs, they look normal to me. Out of complete nowhere, a snake robot sneaks up on them somehow because I guess it was really quiet with its metal skin sliding along the grass. Fortunately, Mega Man destroys it in one hit with the laser, immediately deflating all of the tension. At least they take a break from their weird bickering for once, so that Sonic can thank him for deciding to help him and his friends. I mean, it's not like they're rival franchises like Sonic and Mario, so why are two nice guys arguing so much all the time like this? I'd expect Sonic to, be teasing him, because he teases a lot of people, but Mega Man shouldn't be, this mean. After Tails charmingly says that he can't wait to meet Dr. Light, a fellow genius, they suddenly get attacked by the two Shadow Men. And Sonic and Mega Man are both briefly confused about their identical names, since Mega Man doesn't know which one he was told to go after. Why the hell didn't Sonic or Mega Man just say, "You go for the blue one, I'll go for the black and red one"? It's lampshaded by Tails and the blue Shadow Man how long the two heroes are taking to start the fight just because of the identical name confusion, when they should just fight already. You're right, they do lack discipline. While Sonic is insulting the blue guy, Shadow proves talking is not a free action for once, by freezing him in a stasis bubble. And Tails reveals that this is a weaponized Chaos Control that Shadow can use without any Chaos Emeralds in his possession. Tails distracts the blue guy in a fight while the invisible Mega Man runs up so close that he can sneak attack with the tornado attack, freeing Sonic, who gasped because I guess he wasn't able to breathe earlier. The Shadow gets somehow deroboticized, and Mega Man uses his power to Chaos Cannon the blue guy, immobilizing him. At least this time the fight takes longer, and it makes sense that it would from the name confusion making planning for the heroes about which villain to take more confusing. But no, it doesn't make sense because it should have just referred to them by their radically different color schemes instead and solved the problem instantly. Humiliated, Shadow seems to destroy the Shadow Man in vengeance, and for some reason the heroes question this understandable reaction to an evil person, and Sonic says that he needs anger control. Really? Really? Shadow Man's pure evil. You feel sorry for him? I mean, maybe Mega Man would make sense, but Sonic saying that? Shadow says stubbornly that he doesn't want to help anyone, and warps away in the Chaos Control of bad writing. I know he's an antisocial jerk, but still, you'd think he'd want revenge on Eggman. And in even more bad writing, to the point of being terrible, for no reason whatsoever. Shadow using Chaos Control near them makes all of them have visions of stuff from the pre-Genesis Wave world. Like Mecha Sally. Tails is unfortunately cut off from asking what happened to whoever it was he was talking about. And Mega Man also has a flood of memory errors, years worth. When I don't see any reason why Wily would rewrite reality to undo. Well, maybe undoing his past mistakes means that Mega Man doesn't have experience with them, but no, Mega Man clearly remembered that copy bot in the Genesis unit shouldn't be back to life. So it's not like Wily erased all of his previous failures. The Genesis Wave only really makes sense as a plot device against the Sonic universe. It doesn't seem to do anything to the Mega Man universe, weird amnesia cases aside. Tails reasons that when Shadow teleports, he disrupts the entire zone with his Chaos Control, giving them a glimpse of the old world. Huh? I'm guessing this won't happen literally every time Shadow uses Chaos Control in their zone from now on, even deep into the reboot, so why the hell would they establish a rule just to forget it 2 seconds later? Why would disrupting the rewritten zone that's rewritten give them memories of the way the zone used to be? Then that doesn't make any sense. It used to be, but isn't anymore, so there'd be nothing for them to get glimpses of. I feel like they could have not written this to happen just fine. And Mega Man says that old worlds, new worlds, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the villains have to be stopped. They're right, so why'd they bother with that last scene? Again, this isn't easing me into the reboot. It's rubbing salt in the wound. Sonic says heartwarmingly, "Once we save Dr. Light, I need to thank him for making a robot I like." He's never going to be able to do that, by the way. Then he says amusingly, "Now if you only made chili dogs." Oh, the only should have been before the word you, so that didn't flow as well as I thought. Eggman jokes that Dr. Light looks like Santa in a lab coat. After they bond over the fact that they both have mustaches and insult Light for having a beard, which makes sense as I can imagine beards would take much more work with grooming to keep clean, Orbot tells them that they lost Shadow Man and they somehow detected a bit of destabilization in the zone. When Orbot isn't able to properly answer the question of which Shadow Man he's referring to when they both look completely different, he gets put into ball form and shot away. Eggman reasons that they're fine with all the other robots they have, and oh, suddenly Rouge is here, and comes to save Dr. Light. Why wasn't she roboticized? How the hell did she get in their fortress? Was she captured to be roboticized but then somehow escaped without being noticed? More bad writing. She came here because her teammate Shadow was captured during a mission with her, and Copybot made a big mistake by making things personal. Dr. Light comments on how Rouge knows way too much to make sense, and I'm supposed to believe that her being resourceful explains her omniscience. Rouge says that it's also easy to fill in the intel gaps, since for no reason whatsoever the genius Eggman can't secure a network. I wish you didn't have the word also in there, because without it that could have been the only explanation instead of keeping a plot hole around. Rouge says that for now, Dr. Light is safer where he is, out of the way. Fortunately, he doesn't take offense. She asks him to find her the weak points of the station for the hologram map that she conveniently found off screen. It really feels like he just got the idea to write her at the last minute. Meanwhile, we get the implication that Sonic spent forever wasting his time trying to jump on disappearing and reappearing blocks just to prove he could do it himself out of ego, with Tails lampshading that he can just fly him up the waterfall. I guess that would be relatable to someone who plays those games, which I tried and I definitely hate those myself. All of a sudden, they get knocked down to Sonic by fire, which somehow doesn't horribly burn Tails because fire is a solid object apparently. They get attacked by the roboticized Silver and Blaze. I mean, at least we get to see the concept of every friend of Sonic's being like this at some point in the comics, since they're saying goodbye to the roboticization concept forever. Predictably, Silver just grabs Rush and Mega Man with telekinesis. And then he uses telekinesis to snap the necks of Sonic and Tails. No, of course not. Instead, he freezes them in place up in the sky forever along with Mega Man. No, of course not. He wouldn't possibly use his telekinesis in a remotely smart way, or else he'd effortlessly win. So I'm expecting some stupid writing. Oh, okay, Mega Man hits Silver with the deroboticizing ray just in time because he shot it in time. What's confusing is that when he's brought back to normal, he instantly says to Mega Man, "Let's see what I can do," when he complains about being telekinetically prevented from moving, instead of immediately asking what was just going on and wondering who this robot is. He's that helpful, I guess. He'll help a robot just on instinct, but he's all groggy from being brought back to normal. Why doesn't he just assume he's made by Eggman? Blaze surrounds herself with fire, and it's commented that this is a new trick when no, it was not. I remember her doing that. Maybe it's just that he doesn't remember her doing that in this new reality. Because Metal Blaze was too stupid to just throw the fire directly at him after surrounding him with a wall of fire, but instead simply walked towards him surrounded by fire herself, this idiot ball was what allowed Silver to freeze her in place with telekinesis. It seems unnecessary to write her to be this stupid in the fight when he could have had Sonic and Tails dodging thrown fireballs, and Tails flying him over walls of fire just fine. And Silver says I can't hold her. What do you mean you can't hold her? Why not? You never have any trouble holding anyone else. So Mega Man has the Storybreaker power of telekinesis now. So I'm expecting him to almost never use it in the smart way that he realistically would, because that would make things too easy. So ultimately this power of his will just make things more frustrating. Tails accidentally calls Rush Teapup and says charmingly that he reminds him a lot of his dog. Blaze says that with Marine at sea, she was enjoying her first quiet day in a while, but then there were flashes of light and now she's here. If Eggman can rewrite reality, then logically why didn't he just rewrite it so that Blaze was in this world all along to simplify things? I mean, a possible explanation for him letting the heroes be born and live is that they could be roboticized by him for their powers. So why not rewrite reality so that Blaze was always in Sonic's world instead of remembering being with Blaze really easily? She apologizes for the attacks unnecessarily, and Silver reveals that out of nowhere, he has fractured memories too, and he had tried to warn them about the space disruption being tied to that earlier. Sonic sarcastically thanks him for that, presumably since him going to do that got him roboticized and turned against him, and Silver looks sad, calling his sarcasm hurtful, which made me feel sorry for him. Blaze says that she and Silver need to rest to recharge before they can be of any help. Sonic says that he's just glad they're back to normal. We cut to Vector lampshading to Charmy that he might cause an avalanche in the snowy mountain, as Charmy's trying to hear his echo. Proto-Man is confused that they're really detectives, naturally since only Espio is a serious professional one. Vector says that none of them even knew what a Pogoman was before this, and for some reason, Proto-Man's quiet with a close-up before sighing and saying to just press forwards, dropping it, when he should be correcting him. Vector offers to trade his gold chain for his scarf, calling him Pogoman. So he was calling him the wrong name all this time, and Proto-Man never bothered to correct him, nor did anyone else? And he called him Proto-Man, and he called him Pogoman when he doesn't have a pogo stick? This is the definition of forced comedy. Just before Metal Knuckles and Amy could attack them, they're told that because they're the last remaining roboticized masters, I hate how long that name is, they have to destroy Sonic and Mega Man. And Metal Amy says that the self-destruct option is authorized, reminded me of how the Superior comic handled Metal Sally being de-roboticized, as she almost self-destructed before that point. And of course, the main game characters are the last ones to be rescued. Of course, they'll be seen as the biggest goal to look forward to. It's so fiction-y, why not just send them all right away? This issue is by Ian Flynn. It was kind of bland and predictable, as go figure, they fight the next roboticized masters and free them really easily in one issue. With Blaze being unnecessarily stupid, and Mega Man just needing one shot right at the start of the fight for Blaze and Silver. At least they had a harder time with the Shadow Man, and Silver kinda makes sense with what he's doing, but they should have just said, go for the blue one, since they still look different enough from each other anyways to not have confusion be that justified. I don't see why Shadow teleporting away would conveniently bring back their memories from a zone that was rewritten. The only way this could make sense, even the slightest, is if, rather than their zone truly being rewritten, the heroes and villains were all teleported to other new zones that look similar to their old ones. That way, their old zone still exists for them to draw visions of the past from, and the old Mobius Prime would be where RG Sonic Online, the true continuity, is continuing from. Because otherwise, how could they get memories back of lives that were rewritten to have never happened that way? Why didn't Shadow want revenge against Eggman for humiliating him like that? This antisocial jerkness only happens so we can have the plot point of him warping away to bring back memories of people. And it is cool to at least see the concept of every Sonic hero roboticized for at least once, but it's in such a short fight for every single one of them that their potential feels wasted. Only not completely wasted, because at least Tails Man used a unique power with shooting tornadoes from a cannon. Plus, Mega Man has telekinesis now, which will probably not be used properly because then things would be too easy. Logically, anytime he sees a villain from now on, he should just telekinesis them to keep them from doing anything wrong, and he should telekinesis himself and his friends to fly over to the Wily Egg, and use telekinesis on the Wily Egg to rip it apart so that they'd be able to get to Wily and Eggman right away. So I'm sure that won't happen, because that would make sense. Next up in the crossover is Sonic Universe issue 53. And after this right away is Other M.